This woman suddenly notices that her puppy, who usually can't be bothered to move, is acting exceptionally strange today.
Ethan, it's me, Bailey! Can't you tell it's me?
Is that you, boss dog?
It's me!
Quiet!
The dog's series of actions finally makes Ethan realize that the dog at his daughter-in-law's house is actually his former companion, Bailey. But times have changed, and now Ethan and his wife have long since severed ties with their daughter-in-law, Gloria. Their only purpose for risking this visit is to see the granddaughter they miss day and night. Yet Gloria couldn't care less and shuts them out of the house without a second thought. Seeing this, Bailey can only run to the window and bark frantically at Ethan.
All these years later, they still want to take her from me?
I love it when he calls me boss dog.
You just keep looking after CJ.
Bailey just stands there silently by the window, watching Ethan walk away. Fortunately, his owner has already recognized him, and the bond that transcends reincarnation seems to have never broken, as Ethan tells Bailey to keep protecting his granddaughter, CJ. But the mission to protect CJ actually quietly began in his previous life. In his last life, Bailey went through 4 reincarnations before finally finding his way back to Ethan's side. However, it wasn't long before the family welcomed a new member, CJ, the daughter left behind by Hannah's late son. Having lost her father at a young age, CJ becomes the treasure Ethan and Hannah hold in the palms of their hands. Only their daughter-in-law is the exception, as she not only neglects the child, but often forgets about her entirely. On this day, Gloria is so preoccupied with a phone call that she completely fails to notice CJ running toward a dangerous horse stable all by herself. Bailey senses the danger immediately and rushes to bark a warning at Gloria.
Everything. Go away!
Seeing that Gloria is ignoring him, Bailey has no choice but to go and check it out on his own. But by the time he reaches the stable, he finds that CJ has already crawled inside the fence. The horse, sensing a stranger's intrusion, becomes instantly agitated, and seeing this, Bailey doesn't hesitate for a second as he lunges to shield CJ with his own body. At this critical moment, Ethan hears the commotion in the stable from a distance and immediately drops his farm work to rush over.
Whoa, boy!
Although he saves CJ just in the nick of time, the fury in Ethan's heart doesn't subside.
What are you doing?
Hey, let me call you back.
CJ just got in with Lioness. She could have been hurt, Gloria. Bailey saved her.
Let me get this straight. It's one of those hero dogs you see on TV.
Its name is Bailey.
I love when my boy Ethan says my name.
Facing Ethan's accusations, Gloria shows no guilt whatsoever, and instead looks completely annoyed. Soon, Hannah hears about the incident and urges Gloria to pay more attention to the child. But Gloria continues to make desperate excuses. Fortunately, CJ has been smart since she was little, and she can tell who truly loves and cares for her.
Hey, Mama's here now. You say Mama?
Over time, as Gloria sees her daughter only being close to Ethan and Hannah, a sense of insecurity begins to grow in her heart. Whenever they are having a great time playing with CJ, she intentionally shows up to force an end to their bonding time. But she completely overlooks how Bailey's mind works.
Oh, I get what you want me to do. Yeah!
This is why I don't like dogs.
Maybe you wanted to stick your nose in my butt?
Anyone with eyes can see that Gloria hates life on the farm from the bottom of her heart. Ethan sees all of this and knows full well that Gloria's heart isn't here at all. After much thought, he takes the initiative to suggest that he's willing to let Gloria go and pursue the life she wants, while leaving CJ to be carefully raised by him and Hannah. Sensing Ethan's tolerance and thoughtfulness, Hannah quickly responds in support. But right then, Ethan accidentally feels a hard lump on Bailey's body, giving him a sinking feeling of dread. So the next day, Ethan takes Bailey to the veterinary clinic. However, the test results deal him a heavy blow. Bailey has a malignant tumor. The vet can only say one thing, which is to let the dog spend his remaining time in happiness.
I want you to stay put, okay, buddy? Dr. Deb said we should just keep you comfortable. I can handle all the chores.
At lunchtime, Ethan and his wife inform Gloria of the proposal they discussed the previous night. They thought Gloria would be grateful for this arrangement, but upon hearing they want to help raise the child, she isn't thankful at all. Instead, her sense of insecurity explodes. In her narrow-minded view, Ethan and Hannah's offer to help isn't out of kindness, but a scheme to seize the insurance money left behind by her husband's tragic accident.
It has nothing to do with the money. It has to do with providing a loving home for CJ.
Well, Hannah, I am her mother, so wherever I am, that is her home.
After a heated argument, Gloria decides to take her daughter and run far away. Hannah hopes she will stay for CJ's sake, but Gloria's mind is made up. In her eyes, only by taking the child away can she cut off any thoughts they might have about the insurance money. Faced with Gloria's paranoia and cold-heartedness, Ethan and Hannah are powerless to argue and can only watch helplessly as she forcibly takes CJ away.
I wanted to chase the car for Hannah and Ethan, but I just didn't have the energy.
Ever since CJ left, Bailey's health has rapidly declined, reaching the point where his lamp is truly running out of oil. He feels weak all over and just wants to have a peaceful sleep, naively thinking that he'll regain his strength when he wakes up to play with Ethan again.
You think maybe next time you come back? You come back for CJ, you think?
I didn't understand all the words, but somehow I knew what Ethan meant.
Then, that familiar sting returns. But after the pain passes, all of Bailey's suffering vanishes. Under Ethan's tear-filled gaze, Bailey slowly closes his eyes. After his soul breaks free from the shackles of his body, Bailey sets out on the path of reincarnation once again. This time he isn't lost, as he has only one obsession in his heart: to find CJ and protect her until she grows up. This isn't just a regular rebirth, but a journey spanning life and death, a promise from Bailey to Ethan, and a dog's bone-deep loyalty to his master. When Bailey opens his eyes again, everything around him has become strange and new. In this life, he transforms into a squishy little beagle, and even his gender has completely shifted into a pretty little female dog. During his days at the shelter, Bailey lives a carefree life. There's a spacious play area where he can run wild every day, making life pleasant and comfortable. Good times are always fleeting, and as the puppies grow day by day, a steady stream of people comes to the shelter to adopt pets. Before long, Bailey's older brothers and sisters are picked up by new owners one after another. So in the end, only the mother dog and his brother Rocky are left. Even this brief companionship doesn't last, and a few days later, a young boy named Trent adopts Rocky. An intense sense of loneliness instantly envelops Bailey until he instinctively turns his head to look.
It smells like...
CJ! I remember my purpose! CJ is my purpose! I can't let her get away!
At this moment, all of Bailey's logic is swept away by the sheer ecstasy of the reunion, turning him into an utterly reckless little crazy dog. He leaps down the steps 2 at a time and sprints toward that familiar figure with all his might, his heart and mind focused on nothing but throwing himself into CJ's embrace.
CJ, it's me! I'm here to protect you!
He's already my best friend. Oh, psycho puppy!
CJ was a gigantic baby now.
This puppy is insane.
However, as time has flown by, the toddler who was once babbling and full of life has now grown into a young girl with gentle eyes and an innocent spirit. The only thing that hasn't changed is the pure kindness rooted deep in her bones. Trent, who is standing nearby, takes in the whole scene, and seeing how CJ can't seem to put Bailey down, he makes up his mind right then and there.
我们可以养2只狗吗？
不行，一只就够了。
But since he is still young, he doesn't have the authority to make decisions on his own just yet. The shelter director keenly senses Bailey's extraordinary bond with the young girl and takes the opportunity to ask CJ.
Do you think your parents would let you have a puppy?
I'll take Molly home. My mom will go crazy for her, and then she can call you.
Yet both CJ and Bailey know full well that Gloria is fundamentally opposed to having dogs. To keep Bailey by her side, CJ plans to keep it a secret from her mother by stealthily settling him into her own bedroom. Ever since leaving the farm, Gloria's life has become a total mess as she wanders out all day and night, staying away until late and living in a complete daze with no time to care for her daughter. Because of this, CJ learned to be independent and strong from a young age, tasting the bitterness of loneliness very early on. Now that he has Bailey's company, those long, unbearable nights finally feel warm.
I used to hate it when my mom stayed out late. But now I have you. I don't have to be scared anymore.
The girl and the dog huddle closely together, creating a scene identical to the one between Ethan and Bailey many years ago. The only difference is that CJ isn't reading comic books, but is instead pouring out a heart full of worries and secrets. Bailey doesn't understand what CJ is saying, yet he understands the joy of hiding under the covers together. But ultimately, the truth cannot be hidden forever.
Hey, morning, sweetie.
CJ intends to brush her mother off with just a few words, but in the next second,
I need to get outside. I need to go.
What is that?
just as CJ is at a loss for how to explain, Gloria's new boyfriend suddenly appears.
What a sweetie. I love dogs.
Me and my mom do too.
CJ deliberately tries to help Gloria maintain a good image, but even so, it doesn't change Gloria's deep-seated hatred for dogs. When CJ returns home from a walk with Bailey, Gloria immediately stiffens her face and orders her to send the dog away.
You're not allowed to have a dog. You understand me? I am your mother. I am the boss.
And you're not supposed to leave an 11-year-old alone at night. Almost every night.
CJ's words are like a fine needle stabbing deep into Gloria's heart. Thinking back on her own reckless and impulsive life over the years, and how she ignored and neglected her daughter, she suddenly feels that letting this little dog stay to accompany the lonely CJ might actually be the best arrangement. From then on, CJ often invites Trent out to walk the dogs together. Even though Bailey and Rocky are siblings from the same litter, it's clear that the brother, Rocky, isn't nearly as perceptive or bright as Bailey.
Sit. Lie down. Lie down.
I'll wait till you come up with a better game.
The experience accumulated over several lifetimes is already etched into Bailey's soul, allowing him to cooperate perfectly with his young master's every whim. In contrast, Trent, who is standing on the side, seems like the one being trained. In this way,
Look, Molly, my charm bracelet.
CJ slowly grows up with her musical dreams, while Bailey accompanies her through rain or shine for 7 whole years. Even after all these years, the bond between CJ and Trent remains incredibly strong. They still make dates to walk the dogs just like when they were kids, only now, CJ has a small goal in mind. She wants to take the insurance money left by her father, put her studies on hold for a while to go to New York, and kickstart her musical career.
You hardly ever talk about your dad.
Well, except Gloria said his parents tried to steal that money from me when I was a baby.
Perhaps taking CJ away from the farm was the only good thing her mother ever did for her. But is that really the truth? One night, CJ goes to the supermarket alone to shop and is approached by a young man.
Are you gonna buy something? Because if you are, I gotta go back in.
Oh, guess I was. I'm not, in a hurry or anything, though.
I'm getting a bad feeling about this person.
Because CJ lacked his father's company growing up and was neglected by his mother, she appears exceptionally naive around the opposite sex, so the two of them quickly get together. Before long, CJ starts dating Shane behind her family's back, but this scene is caught right in the act by Trent while he's out walking the dog.
Hey, what's up? You didn't return my call.
Oh, right. Sorry. I've been kind of busy.
Who is this, your mother?
The air freezes instantly, and even the wind seems to carry a sour hint of jealousy. Despite the turmoil churning inside him, Trent still hands CJ an invitation to a music talent show. As a childhood friend who grew up with her, he understands her hidden dreams of being on stage better than anyone, and he both hopes she can bravely step into the spotlight to showcase her talent and wants to use this chance to spend more time with her. However, Shane dismisses the hard-won invitation with just a few words and even constantly belittles CJ's self-confidence. Blinded by love, CJ chooses to abandon her longtime companion and turns to leave with Shane.
You want something that tastes good? You should try these socks.
That same night, CJ follows Shane to a party at his brother's house, but the atmosphere of reckless indulgence makes her feel incredibly out of place as her inner anxiety and resistance grow stronger. Just as she is racking her brain for an excuse to escape, the police show up for a surprise inspection, and the entire party is busted. Although CJ didn't participate in any illicit trading, she is still sentenced to 100 hours of community service, and the service location happens to be a high-end medical training facility. The staff here train dogs to use their acute sense of smell to screen human bodies for cancer. Specially trained dogs only need to sniff the breath from a patient's nose to accurately pinpoint the location of a lesion. Bailey watches his fellow dogs easily earn food with this skill, And combined with his own extraordinary sense of smell and innate intelligence, he actually teaches himself the skill without even realizing it.
Good girl.
That's it. If you smell the smell, you get a treat.
This unexpected talent of Bailey's also sets the stage for a critical turning point in a sudden crisis down the line. After the storm passes, life returns to being mundane once again. But this peace is eventually shattered by an unexpected visit. Ethan and his wife have been asking around and finally found Gloria's address. As a grandmother, Hannah's only wish is to see the granddaughter she hasn't met in years and make up for the regrets and debts of all that time. Meanwhile, Bailey is restless as he paces back and forth at the door, trying to use his own unique way to catch Ethan's attention. His hard work pays off, and he finally succeeds in getting Ethan to notice him.
Ethan, it's me, Bailey. Can't you tell it's me?
Is that you, boss dog?
It's me, it's me, it's me.
Quiet.
Gloria, we just want to see CJ.
What makes you think you can just show up like this?
Ooh, I'll go tell CJ you're here.
Bailey can't hide the ecstasy and excitement of the reunion as he immediately rushes to CJ's side, constantly rubbing his head against her palm, desperate to lead her to see her grandfather. But the current CJ simply cannot read Bailey's mind at all. By the time Bailey rushes downstairs again, Ethan and his wife have already been shut out by Gloria. Feeling completely helpless, Bailey can only run to the window and bark desperately at Ethan outside.
I know that's you, boss dog.
I love it when he calls me boss dog.
You just keep looking after CJ.
Bailey just stands there silently by the window, watching Ethan walk away. This brief encounter is far from enough to release the emotions Bailey has bottled up for so long, but it makes him even more determined in his mission to protect CJ. However, trouble soon finds its way to their doorstep. Shane suddenly appears looking like a total deadbeat, and CJ immediately makes it clear she's done with him. But Shane isn't about to let her walk away that easily. When CJ refuses to listen to his excuses, he chooses to get physical. Seeing his owner in grave danger, Bailey transforms into the ultimate guardian and gives Shane a vicious bite.
Go away. CJ doesn't like you.
I'm gonna kill that stupid dog!
I don't like you either.
After returning home, CJ tells her mother Gloria exactly what happened during the encounter. Instead of offering a single word of comfort upon hearing her daughter was harmed, Gloria coldly mocks her for not knowing how to please a man.
What did you do? Did you lead him on? Did you provoke him or something?
You are literally the worst mother in the world.
No, that was my mother.
Completely losing hope in her mother, CJ plans to take the insurance payout left by her father and leave this heartless home behind. But Gloria casually confesses that the money has long since been squandered, revealing that even their house and daily expenses were funded by it. Struck like a bolt of lightning, CJ finally realizes that her mother's closet full of designer clothes and crates of expensive wine were all paid for with the money meant for her college education.
Mom, that money was the only thing I ever got from my dad.
Originally thinking it was her grandparents who coveted the money, CJ is devastated to find it was her own mother, and she leaves the house with Bailey without looking back. The last shred of hope she held for her family is shattered, and her tears won't stop falling as she drives away. Watching CJ tremble and wipe away tears, Bailey's heart aches for her, yet he feels utterly helpless to take away her pain. Just then, a suspicious-looking car quietly begins to tail them from behind. As the vehicle draws closer, Shane's face, twisted with pure hatred, comes into view. CJ tries to speed away in a panic, but the deranged Shane drives his car straight into them in a fit of rage. Fearing the consequences of his actions, Shane flees the scene immediately, leaving behind a terrified CJ and a critically injured Bailey.
Are you okay, CJ?
Boy.
Amidst CJ's gut-wrenching sobs, Bailey slowly closes his eyes, ending his journey in this life. But Bailey knows his mission is far from over. The girl who needs his protection is still out there in the storm. In his final moments, a single obsession takes hold. He must be reborn as a stronger dog in his next life, so he can truly protect CJ. As his consciousness drifts back, Bailey enters the cycle of reincarnation once more. Perhaps the heavens heard his plea, because in this life, he transforms into a massive, imposing mastiff. The only downside is that he's adopted by a family running a convenience store right after birth, leaving him trapped in a tiny space with no chance to go out and find CJ. Even though his current owner treats him with the utmost tenderness and spoils him like a treasure, the sorrow in Bailey's eyes never fades. Until one day, a familiar scent that is etched into his soul wafts past the front of the convenience store.
I don't believe it. It's my CJ. I found you.
Fate comes full circle as the girl he's been longing for finally appears before him once again.
Hey there, big dog. Hey.
Now I can go with you.
Bailey is beyond ecstatic right now as he immediately pulls off the signature move CJ taught him all those years ago.
Oh, Paul, that is so sweet. I trained my dog to shake.
He's never done that before.
Really?
But Bailey's appearance has changed completely, and CJ isn't Ethan. She has no idea the big dog in front of her was once her beloved Molly. Watching CJ drive away, Bailey bolts after her, pouring every ounce of strength from this lifetime into the chase. But a body of flesh and blood can't outrun speeding wheels, let alone bridge the distance of reincarnation. CJ's figure grows smaller and smaller until she completely vanishes around the street corner. Until his owner arrives to bring him back, Bailey just lies dejectedly in the back of the truck, his gaze intently locked onto the direction where CJ departed, with his eyes overflowing with an unshakable sense of unwilling frustration and lingering longing. From that day on, Bailey waits at the convenience store entrance day after day, just for another chance to see CJ. This obsession never wavers until his final breath, when Bailey realizes he never got the chance to reunite with CJ in this life. Bailey slowly wanders into the bushes behind the house, and with his mission unfinished and his persistence intact, ends this brief and regretful journey. Carrying his eternal obsession, Bailey embarks on his third reincarnation, this time as a Yorkshire Terrier named Max. On adoption day, many people are drawn to Bailey's cute appearance, but he growls at anyone who gets close. Because his heart only belongs to CJ, and he believes that as long as he isn't adopted, he'll eventually find his way back to her. Fortunately, fate does not let Bailey down.
Could it be? I think it might be. What if it is?
Bailey hears that familiar voice once again. Just as the shelter worker is packing up to leave, Bailey suddenly bolts out. He sprints, following the lingering scent in the air, letting no obstacle stop his path. Finally, in an apartment elevator, he catches up to CJ. But crisis strikes immediately as Bailey's leash gets jammed in the elevator gap. As the elevator slowly rises, the leash pulls tighter and tighter, nearly choking the life out of him. Luckily, CJ is quick on her feet and saves Bailey just in time. Looking down, CJ notices the shelter's address on Bailey's collar and returns him to the event. But when the staff see how quiet Bailey is with her, they are completely stunned.
You're the only person in the world he hasn't tried to bite. That's too bad. He's scheduled to be put down tomorrow.
Wait, are you serious?
Because Bailey is notoriously difficult and tries to bite anyone he sees. They had even sent him to a trainer before, but every time he came back, he would return to his aggressive ways. Looking at the cute and pitiful little guy, CJ's heart finally softens.
You sit and you stay that way. Get me?
This is Max. You two are going to be very good friends.
Like she said, I'm the boss now.
A moment later, CJ's boyfriend Barry returns home. Though he doesn't say it outright, Bailey can hear the passive aggressiveness in his voice.
Great personality.
Just needs a minute to warm up.
Playing your music for 2 dogs is better than 1 dog, right?
Right. You're a good audience.
Too bad dogs don't buy records.
Look, I'm going to play for people when I'm ready.
Years later, CJ still carries her burning musical dreams, but reality is a harsh master. To make ends meet, she has to work odd jobs everywhere, living a life that's barely getting by. Until this day, Bailey suddenly catches a familiar scent in the elevator. The moment the doors open, he starts sprinting like a madman all the way down the hall. CJ chases after him relentlessly until she follows Bailey right to someone's front door. In the next second, the sight before her eyes leaves CJ completely stunned.
Trent!
CJ?
Trent?
Where's Rocky?
Wow.
What are you...
Seeing the long-lost, radiant smile on CJ's face, Bailey is delighted from the bottom of his heart, because he always remembers that Trent is the one who can give her warmth, rather than that passive-aggressive boyfriend. To help CJ cut ties with this toxic relationship, Bailey begins creating friction in his own unique way.
Barry had to go.
CJ! Yes!
Just as expected, an intense argument breaks out between CJ and Barry, where a resentful Barry doesn't just start shouting, but also cruelly mocks CJ's musical dreams, trampling on her inner passion and persistence with utter pettiness. Bailey's various antics act like a fuse, completely detonating the conflicts that have been suppressed by the trivialities of daily life for far too long. But for CJ, who was already struggling financially, life becomes even more difficult without Barry's meager contributions, forcing her to take on back-breaking odd jobs to save up bit by bit just to survive. Until one day, while walking the dog on the street, CJ accidentally runs into Trent, who is out shopping with his girlfriend. Not wanting to disturb his life, she hurriedly ducks around a street corner to hide. However, Bailey accurately captures Trent's familiar scent and keeps barking cheerfully in his direction.
Trent, we're right here! Here I come! Open your arms and catch me!
Trent recognizes CJ's dog at a single glance, leaving an unavoidable CJ with no choice but to show herself in an atmosphere thick with awkwardness.
So I left you a bunch of messages. You didn't get back. Is everything okay? CJ.
Sorry.
After learning about CJ's hardships, Trent doesn't hesitate for a moment and immediately invites her to move into his home. This naturally leaves Trent's girlfriend feeling extremely displeased, and while they don't break up immediately, an invisible rift has already taken root in their hearts. The peaceful days don't last long before another accident strikes. An exhausted Trent returns home with an undeniable weakness radiating from his entire body. During a casual chat, Bailey suddenly leans in close to Trent, as if he has sniffed out a very specific odor. After pulling away from Trent's embrace, Bailey immediately strikes that special pose. Seeing this scene, memories instantly surge in CJ's mind, as the little Beagle she raised years ago knew how to perform this cancer detection. She isn't sure if Bailey is doing it on purpose, or if it's a pure coincidence, but she still urges Trent to go to the hospital for a comprehensive checkup. The test results confirm her fears, as Trent is officially diagnosed with cancer. Fortunately, it was caught early, and the chances of recovery are very high. But when his girlfriend hears the news, her face is filled with nothing but disgust and impatience.
Do you have to go to the hospital? I hate hospitals, they terrify me, you know that.
Before long, CJ receives the news that they have broken up. CJ feels a deep sense of guilt about the whole situation. With Trent now seriously ill and no one by his side to care for him, CJ naturally takes on the heavy burden. The side effects of chemotherapy slowly eat away at Trent's body, and the massive hair loss combined with a lack of appetite leaves him incredibly weak. If it weren't for CJ's constant, unwavering care, he likely wouldn't have made it through those grueling times. CJ and Bailey become the source of strength for Trent in his battle against the illness. They bolster his conviction with their companionship and warmth. After a period of systematic treatment, Trent's condition is effectively brought under control.
I'm cancer-free.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Having survived this life and death ordeal, Trent finally makes up his mind to find the courage to confess his long-held feelings to CJ. Yet the words always seem to get stuck in his throat every time he tries to speak.
Come on, lick faces. Do it. You both want to.
You just got me through cancer. You can face Gloria. Hey, now I can be here for you.
You're a really good friend.
Before long, CJ arranges a meeting with her mother. Tempered by the passage of time and the hardships of life, Gloria has finally kicked her habit of heavy drinking, her heart now overflowing with remorse for her past actions and the debt she owes her daughter. To earn CJ's forgiveness, she even goes so far as to suppress her deep-seated aversion to dogs. Gloria isn't just there to apologize, as she also brings along the belongings left by CJ's father, which contain many letters. CJ takes them out one by one, seeing the sincere and intense love between her parents, and finally understanding their beautiful vision for the future. This profound love instantly melts away the years of resentment harbored in her heart. She gradually begins to empathize with the pain and breakdown her mother had to endure alone after her father passed away. The letters also mention Grandpa Ethan's farm, and while CJ was too young when she left to have anything but blurry memories, the beautiful images of the farm now become vivid in her mind. It seems that once things start going well, they just keep getting better. A recovered Trent puts all his support behind CJ's musical dreams, and CJ finally welcomes the first official performance of her life. As she stands under the spotlight for the first time and sings her heart out, the beautiful melody strikes a chord in everyone's soul, leaving even the musically gifted Trent in awe. At the same time, he hears that the lyrics are entirely descriptions of the farm scenery, so he immediately decides to take CJ back to the farm to return to the place that carries countless memories. The one more excited than anyone else is Bailey, who has been waiting for this day through several cycles of reincarnation. As the car slowly pulls into the farm, the familiar pastoral scenery comes rushing toward them.
I smell horse dogs! I smell Hannah! I smell my boy!
Bailey runs to the front of the house with practiced ease, and just as expertly, he knocks on that wooden door.
Ethan, it's me! It's Bailey, 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 Bailey!
I think you might be my Grandma Hannah.
All the long waiting and the persistent journeys finally hold the most perfect meaning. Bailey has ultimately fulfilled the entrustment Ethan gave him years ago, having exhausted all his strength to protect CJ as she grew up and brought her back to the farm safe and sound. Today's Ethan has long since grown old and frail, but the scent on him has never changed, a smell that Bailey would never forget, even after several lifetimes of reincarnation. Ethan recognizes his old pal almost at a single glance. Everyone sits in a circle as they flip through old photos covered in years of dust, and the hazy fragments of memory in CJ's mind gradually become clear. Looking at her younger self, her grandfather in the prime of his life, and Bailey in his form from that lifetime, both CJ and Trent are shocked into silence.
You know his real name is Bailey. Ain't that right, boss doc?
This is the exclusive move belonging only to Ethan and Bailey, and CJ is stunned by the scene before her eyes.
Bailey died. I told him to take care of you, to protect you, and I believe that's what he did.
In this instant, everything finally clicks for CJ. Why there was that inexplicable sense of familiarity when they first met, and why a dog she had never seen before would take the initiative to be close to her. It turns out that her destiny has been tightly linked with Bailey's since a long, long time ago. Unable to contain her surging emotions any longer, CJ rushes to find Trent and lays everything bare. She explains that Bailey has been guiding her all along, guiding her to find Trent, guiding her to notice Trent's illness, and at the same time, Bailey has been guiding them to come together.
I love you, Trent. I've always loved you.
I've loved you forever.
A redemption from their youth became a promise of companionship that spans across every lifetime, tossing through several reincarnations, all just to attend this long-awaited reunion across time. Love has never truly dissipated. It has simply changed its appearance to silently stay by each other's side. However, it isn't long before CJ and Trent walk down the aisle hand in hand and welcome their own child. Life is mundane yet filled with warmth, but in all things in the world, where there is a meeting, there is a parting, and more often than not, the farewell arrives sooner than the reunion. The elderly Ethan eventually fails to withstand the erosion of time, and this time, it's Bailey's turn to stay quietly by his side.
Me so many times when I had to leave. Now, I got to be with him.
Even if everything in the world has changed, and his beloved has fallen into an eternal sleep deep within time, the longing in Bailey's heart hasn't diminished by a single bit. After Ethan passes away, Bailey's body also gradually weakens day by day. But today's Bailey has no regrets whatsoever. He has completely finished his mission and can finally return to the beginning. But this time, Bailey is no longer alone, because deep within the wheat fields, Ethan has already been waiting for a long time.
Oh, boss dog. Oh, ready? Ready? Go! Way to go, boss dog!
All the concerns and obsessions, all the waiting and persistence finally come to a full circle at this very moment. In truth, every parting is just a setup for the reunion of souls. A Dog's Journey carries on the warm core of the first film, yet reaches a new level of elevation. It is no longer just Bailey's solitary journey to find his own mission, but rather a passing of love and protection from generation to generation, fulfilling a sincere promise to his master through several lifetimes of reincarnation. Looking back at the first movie, Bailey went from an ignorant little puppy through 4 reincarnations before he gradually understood the true meaning of living in the moment. By the second film, Bailey transforms this insight into the power to move forward, silently protecting CJ and giving Mission a heavier and warmer meaning. Movies are essentially a warm art that echoes in the mind, and a long recap is merely an attempt to deconstruct this tenderness. Yet only by experiencing the original film can one truly undergo a complete and heart-healing journey. May we each meet our own Bailey at the next crossroad, cherish this pure and burning warmth, and live up to every sincere act of protection.